Dahlia is about to hit the streets. Jenard is still delusionally hating on Tommy. And Tommy then got his butt kicked up out of his own partnership. What's good, y'all? It's your good sis, Erica Vane, coming to you right here on Erica Vane TV with another Power Book 4 Force video. In this video, we are breaking down episode 6 from the first season. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, turn your bell notifications so that you don't miss out on any of my power coverage. Without further ado, y'all, let's go ahead and talk about this episode. The episode opens on the funerals of last week's deaths, including Ma, who is getting much less of a send-off than the beloved soldiers of the two biggest drug organizations in Chicago, the CBI and the Flynn family. Honestly, it's a visual marker for the beginning of Claudia's empire. Ma gets buried in a ditch because she was an orphan, a casualty, and because Claudia is just getting started. This is her first body, this is her first time branching out, and ain't nothing established. But thank God she has Tommy by her side. This also becomes a mirror moment for the end of the episode because Claudia catches another body in this episode and Tommy gotta help her dispose of that one too. But when we see her disposing of body number 2, she's a lot more grounded, a lot more comfortable with the idea that this is what they do, as Tommy had to let her know while they were burying Mai. Tommy, Vic, Diamond, and Jenard meet up early in the episode and they let him know that they do not have the appetite for a long fight with the Serbs, even though most of them have gone into hiding after the hit because they definitely lost a lot of men. Vic, Diamond, and Jenard throw Tommy out of their partnership, and though the partnership is ending, it's doing so amicably as they decide that they're going to take those 10 keys that Tommy got off his hand and they pay a premium for it. Too bad for CBI. When they need to get back in business with Tommy, that extra percentage is going to be up for grabs. I wouldn't be surprised if they come looking for the Great White Hope, also known as Tommy, and he isn't demanding 40 or 50% next time, because guess what? Y'all can split the rest. Because they sever their relationship with Tommy, we get to see Jenard and Diamond in a very good place. This is something that Jenard has been wanting from the very beginning of the season. And with Elijah gone, he's not able to act out on his plan to take back the organization from Diamond. However, now that Diamond has decided that it's cool that they actually part ways, he does feel like he's getting his big brother back and able to move alongside him. Now, a couple of things come up as the episode plays out, like Jenard starts to ask a bunch of questions while they're watching some of their soldiers get their work in some of the new Serbian spots that are now available for them. And he's seemingly asking all these pushy questions because he's leaning to his resentment of the fact that he didn't get to go to any Ivy League school. He didn't get to push forward within his fighting potential and actually branch out and do something else. He's asking questions along the lines of like, why did Diamond actually set him up to take over CBI? And I guess he's looking for some type of validation when all he gets is because you my blood. I guess that's not going to be enough. So the little piece that he does have when it comes to Diamond in this episode, I definitely think it's going to be short-lived because Jenard is constantly looking for some reason to be mad, some reason to be resentful, and he still has yet to work through his feelings around the fact that he gave up the life that he could have had for the life that he has now. And maybe he feels like it's not going anywhere, even though every time he gets a chance to, he wants to scream about how he put CBI back on the map. It's dope to see Liliana and Tommy connected and building in this episode. She is shaping up to be the true number 2 that Tommy needs, and it's clear that they both have each other's backs. Claudia is very focused on how her drug distribution looks, and Tommy has to school her on the most important thing being execution. He lays out an entire process and plan, and while she decides to say it's low rent, after walking through it, getting Liliana on board and showing her, she sees exactly how brilliant Tommy is and why she needs him as a part of her organization. I ain't even gonna lie, Tommy, the locker thing is brilliant. This is low-key a callback to Power Book 2 Ghost because Braden and Tariq were also using lockers at Stansfield to hand off their product to their primeras, and now it's happening in Chicago. Tommy has Liliana reach out to all of the connects that he met. Tommy has Liliana reach out to the distributors that he met while he was doing the drops for Rojas. Silly Rojas, because now Dahlia is about to hit the streets. They are immediately engaged. When they get the instructions, they follow instructions back to the convention center, and it's after the first hit, everybody becomes on board. Literally, Dahlia is about to hit the streets harder than crack did in the 80s, y'all. And it's so much happening in this episode because while Claudia is getting her little how to move weight for dummies lessons from Tommy, Walter is being worked over by the feds at their family dialysis center as they search the property and demand to see paperwork that he can't produce. Ultimately, she pops up at the 11th hour and is able to give them the paperwork and send them on their way. But this episode, we got a clear understanding that the feds are truly turning it up a notch with their investigation and they're not playing. They pull over Paulie in this episode, try to get him to flip. Walter is in trouble on multiple fronts because he actually passes out this episode, hits his head, doesn't even remember what's going on because his medical issues are clearly progressing. And he's coming to the realization because, you know, at the top of the episode, they bury Simon and they know that Vic has something to do with it. He blames Vic for it. And Claudia goes missing when the feds are in town. So he's literally like, I have to run interference for y'all at all times. Y'all don't know it, but I'm dying. Paulie realizes it and makes a note that gives the audience a clue into what's actually happening, letting him know like, yo, these kids can't go through this again. Apparently their mother passed with something similar. Maybe it was an unknown illness or an illness that she hid into the 11th hour and then she passed before they had the time to process it. And Walter is seeming like he's going to go on a mission to figure out what both of these kids got going on. And that's what they don't want. They don't want Walter on their head because while, again, Walter is ragged, he also seems to not play. By the end of the episode, Vic admits to what's going on after he almost gets hit while trying to bring Gloria to dinner. There's a drive-by on him, which is very weird. What's more weird about that is Gloria busts back like she ain't miss a beat. Like this was completely normal. And I'm just like, Gloria, baby, what you got going on, honey? Because you're not just running this bar, not the way you aiming. Not the way that Vic is tucked up under this car, squealing like a little girl, and you standing there standing tall. What's happening? But Vic comes and lets Walter know at the end of the episode what he did with the Serbs. And while pissed, Walter decides that he's not going to sit and wait for the hits to continue to roll. He goes and lays 3 other Serbians out and sends a message back to Malkovich like, yeah, whoever you want it with, it ain't my family. So be mindful. And I gotta respect this gangster. I ain't even gonna hold y'all. Again, there was so much happening in this episode. While Vic is standing up and going after his love with Gloria, she coming to dinner. We doing this. I'm doing that. Diamond is also running into some random woman who also is giving Fed vibes, but I want to roll with her because she a curly haired cutie, okay? Connecting with her at the diner and then turning this into some little hookup thing. Apparently it's his first one since he's been out the joint, and it was given what needed to be gave on both sides. Let's go ahead and say that. This girl is also not a one-time deal because she pops up the very next night with food and wanting to do it again. And we also get to see a moment where she's looking up his past and sees an article about him going to jail. So she definitely is given what's planted here, is on a mission, but it's not 100% clear what that mission is or who she is and what she does. D-Mac spends this episode following his Uncle Tommy that he don't know is his Uncle Tommy, but it's starting to put 2 and 2 together after he follows Tommy back to JP's house. And it's the moment of seeing JP and Tommy argue within that house that D-Mac knows that this ain't for him. He's too busy wanting to shoot up his daddy bar and not confront his daddy. So he lets Jenard know, yeah, this ain't gonna be the mission for me. You got me following Tommy. He don't actually tell him this, but I imagine that he's thinking, you got me following Tommy and he going to my daddy house and I got a schedule that I'm trying to keep of shooting up his windows every time he put up new windows and not talking to him. And this is gonna make me probably have to talk to my daddy. So I ain't gonna be able to do it. D-Mac, I know you mad, baby. I know you frustrated, but I'm gonna need you to start to try to let that hurt go and talk to your daddy and talk to Tommy. We're gonna get the Tommy thing sooner rather than later because in the preview, we are definitely getting a moment where D-Mac thinks he's going to confront Tommy and Tommy gotta check him. Make sure that y'all subscribe, turn your bell notifications so that you don't miss out on my preview breakdown video because this trailer for next week's episode is lit. Now back to JP and Tommy arguing because this part really surprised me. JP wants Tommy to be honest about what he got going on, ultimately wearing him down, and Tommy admits that he's a drug dealer. And I'm thinking that JP is going to judge him and be pissed, so I can't be associated with you. I'm this, I'm that. He wants a job, y'all. JP wants a job because he's tired of being $192,000 in debt and he wants this weight up off of him. He said, put me on the corner, coach. JP, it's going to be a no for us and it's a no for Tommy. Ultimately, Tommy says, I'm going to keep helping you, but he don't want to take the charity. Sir, you're going to have to, because one thing that he not going to do is put you out here in these streets. You was his only family and he needs to protect you whether you realize it or not. All right, y'all, that's my full breakdown for episode 6, Power Book 4 Force, season 1. Let me know what your thoughts are on the episode in the comment section down below. Give me all your thoughts, theories, and predictions. If you are returning, thank you so much for keeping it locked and checking out all of my new updated videos. I'm headed to the comment section right now to reply to each and every one of y'all's comments. I'll see you there.